Happy Easter, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your less than humble host, Ranting Monkey, and we're going to sit here and chat for a couple of hours because that's what I do with my time. How are you guys? Hope you're well. I am happy. I'm very, very happy. But man, sore, so very sore. Went down to see Little Butt for her birthday, and on the car ride down there, my back was like, "Hey, remember me?" And so I was in pain the whole time we were there, and I've been in pain since. But I had so much fun, you guys. Little Butt does this thing now. She doesn't hug me anymore. I mean, she will if I ask for a hug, but when she first sees me, what she does is she just walks over to me and then turns around and backs up into me so that I can hug her. How cute is that? Oh, and the little one, she doesn't care. She just run over and give Grandpa a big old hug. And the middle one, she likes Grandpa to pick her up to hug her. But yeah, I got to hang out with all the grandchildren, all my children, all the extended family. Even my father-in-law was there, so it was a good time. But wore me out. So last night I skipped the show. I'm like, I got to get some real sleep because I got things I have to do. And I ended up getting about maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of sleep. So we get home about 6 p.m. and I went into bed. I remember laying down, and I remember turning, trying to get in position one time and then gone. I was just gone, you guys. Woke up maybe 2 hours ago now. So I slept like it was my job, and I feel a lot better. It's the normal soreness. Don't want to talk about that, but I feel rested. I feel rested. Apparently, what I got to do is push myself more so I can. My doctor even told me that because I told her I'm having trouble sleeping, and usually when I'm in my worst pain is because I have not slept well. And she says to me, "You know what you need to start doing? You need to start exercising um, at about 6 o'clock or maybe 7, a couple hours before you go to bed." And I was like, "Oh yeah, well see that's 6 and 7 p.m. That's not a couple hours before I go to bed. That's like my morning time." And she goes, "Oh, yeah, you still need to do it around then, because the sun is out." And apparently, I don't know. She's a doctor. I'm not. But I need to be exercising at the end of the day when the sun is still up but going down. I don't understand the physiology or psychology or uh, mixology, whatever it is about that. But yeah, it seemed to work today. I got some exercise and just good sleep, good sleep. It's because of my new pillow sponsor. No, I don't have a pillow sponsor. Wouldn't that be great? That's kind of weird, you guys. Speaking of sponsorships, I've been doing this a long time, very, very long time, and lots and lots of hours, lots of videos, tons of streams. And over that time, I probably had 2, maybe 3 offers for people like, "Hey, you want to be sponsored?" One of them was Audible, which I should have taken a long time ago. But I was like, I don't actually use that service, so no, I'm not even going to look into that. I like books. For fuck's sake, I should have just looked into it. Lots of people made a shit ton of money off of that while I sat here going, I don't really use it. Anyway, I got one. I've been getting them recently. People hitting me up in my DMs going like, hey, we'd like to buy a commercial. How much would that be? I'm like, I don't fucking know. I don't do this for a living. The hell? If they gave you some free books, you would have. Actually, Faithless, it's not like they weren't. I mean, at the time, Audible was, your first couple of books were free or something like that. So yeah, just mistakes made. You guys ever make mistakes? I do it all the time. You guys want to hear my mistake of today? Oh my God, I'm actually quite embarrassed by this one, but it's a humorous story. You ever accidentally insulted a retarded child? I did. We're at Little Butt's birthday party, and all the kids are there, and there's this one kid who's just kind of annoying. But I wasn't paying that much attention, but I keep hearing his name said, and he's just being annoying. And I asked my daughter, I was like, who is that kid? and she told me who he was. I'm like, I I assume there was a mule and a kick incident, which apparently I said loud enough for other people to hear. My bad. Because apparently this one lady gave me an eye roll. My wife was watching, who also didn't think I was funny. Yeah, it turns out the child's actually retarded. Thank you, Frosty Glass. Books, they'll never catch on, monkey. Indeed. Yeah, as I paid more attention, yeah, it became apparent the child actually had some kind of severe disability, not severe, but enough of a disability that his parents should have been paying closer attention. That's all I'm saying. I don't feel that's my fault. I feel like he should have a no, no, he should have a sign or something. And there's this where everybody's watching Little Butt open her presents, and where she was, she's actually she's not on like a throne, but she's on a pedestal, literally on a pedestal. And the little kids are all sitting around watching her, and she's like this princess up there and acting the part very well. And me and my wife are talking, and my wife, she says she loves having this audience. And that little kid is sitting a little bit in front of us, and he turns around and he's very confused by the word audience. And we don't understand why. And he gets up and he goes in and he goes talks to his parents, who are quite a ways down, in this little row of chairs we have. And he he didn't understand the word audience. He thought that it was naughty list. And it's not like my wife slurs or anything. She wasn't drunk. She actually said audience very well and tried to explain what audience was. But this kid was really scared that he was going on a naughty list. If your child, and that's when I realized, oh my God, he's actually retarded. And that's when I was like, ooh, I feel a little bit bad about my joke now. I didn't know. But in my mind, if your child is that developmentally disabled, you should be a lot closer to your child when they're in events like this. A perfectly mundane word from my wife traumatize this child. Traumatize this child. That somebody should have been a lot closer to him to, be helping and watching. He had fun with a lot of the other stuff, but oh my God. I feel like it's not my fault I made a got kicked in the head joke. That's not my fault. I'm sorry, I didn't know you were retarded. Frosted, I've actually said that to people during debates and things. I've never said it and meant it in the real world. I did feel just a tiny, tiny little bit bad about the mule kick joke, but that's a funny joke. I don't care. And it's not like these days children aren't running around acting like retards on quite a normal basis because people aren't paying attention to them. I just on Twitter a moment ago, Dr. Carolyn Orr, I don't know if she's actually a doctor, but she always throws that PhD behind her name. She's like, hey, they're getting handcuffed in schools. Let's see, is that still close on my timeline where I can find it? Do 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 do. Do you guys? How old are you guys? Are you guys my age? I'm old as shit. My mom would have beat the hell out of me for some of the stuff kids get away. And when I say that, people get mad. No, beat? No, no. I would have got spanked for the way children act these days. Yeah, here it is. But it's perfectly normal. It's accepted even. There are 5 and 7-year-olds being handcuffed and thrown to the ground at school for simple behavioral problems. Adolf, thank you. We have a solution for the child. It's kind of final. Yeah, I know you do, Adolf. I know. But this is America. We don't do that here. Most are Black, Hispanic, or children with disabilities. You think behavioral problems with children with disabilities are simple? That's what you think, Miss PhD Carolyn Orr Bueno? This woman drives me insane. She is a disinformation on the internet expert. But anyway, they need our help. Pay attention to them. Start GoFundMe's for them? Help them. I love that, start GoFundMe's for them. All right, here's oh, by the way, hi, Vanilla Bear. I saw you. I meant to say hi early on and got to talking about me insulting a retarded child. I forgot. I really do feel bad about that now. I don't in the moment. I feel bad that that kid wasn't more well watched by his parents. Um, so here's the problem with this, okay? Teachers can't do anything. And don't make me defend teachers. Please don't make me defend teachers. I mean, I know there's some good teachers out there, but these days, but here's the deal. When these teachers have a bad child in their class, they can't do anything. They can't. They're not allowed to touch him. They're not even allowed to scold him most of the time anymore. Are you going to make him feel bad about himself? They're not allowed to do shit. So what do you do? What do you do when you have a child who's running around being an asshole? This little child whose parents never taught him how to be, a decent member of society. We're not talking about like this kid I saw today who had a legit reason to be acting that way. Okay, start a GoFundMe. Most of them are black. Carolyn, seriously, when was the last time you saw a black person in real life? Seriously, when was the last time? You are the kind of person that if you're on an elevator and there's a black person coming, they say, hold that. You go to hit the button, and instead of hold, you hit closed door. I know you. I can look at you. You a little white savior woman. I know who you are. But what are teachers supposed to do? What are the schools supposed to do? They can't do anything. They have no power. Their only recourse, yes, and it is fucking ridiculous. We're putting handcuffs on 5-year-olds. That should make you understand how ridiculous it is that these teachers, when I was in school, one kid got handcuffed. One. And that's because he violently attacked a teacher. One in my entire schooling career. This shit's happening to 5-year-olds now because they cannot, there's no disciplinary action. Children aren't afraid of getting in trouble at school because their parents will just back them up. My little Timmy is a good little boy. It's all your fault. We have a parenting problem. We have a very bad parenting problem. You want to stop this kind of shit? You need parents to be more disciplinary. And instead, you have them out there going, I'm going to let this baby decide its own gender. You think that child is going to learn any kind of discipline? The child that literally gets to make up their own existence? And mom and dad are going to validate anything they fucking say? Really? Good God, man. Yeah. They're starting. I love the start to GoFundMe because that's just funny, especially if you know Carolyn here. Carolyn, she raised money one time so that she could go cover Tulsi Gabbard and get to the bottom of that bitch. I need money to go to Hawaii so I can go investigate. I'm not kidding. So I can go investigate Tulsi Gabbard because she's running for president and won't drop out of the race. It's a real thing that happened in 2020. She raised like $2,000 from her supporters so that she could go to Hawaii to investigate Tulsi Gabbard because she would not drop out of the presidential race. That's some silly shit. Oh my God. This isn't even stuff I plan to talk about. And in fairness, I didn't really have a subject today other than Happy Easter. I probably should have opened with that. Happy Easter. I did, I guess. I just immediately started rambling. Happy Easter. Do you guys celebrate? I celebrate Easter the way I celebrate all holidays. I know there's religious significance. I'm not a religious guy, but I do enjoy the commercial aspect of it. I enjoy the, big family meal. I enjoy chocolate because, I'm not a communist. It's one of the best days of the year to get deviled eggs. And I love me some deviled eggs. Is it ironic to eat deviled eggs on Easter? I feel like there's something weird about that, but I do love me some deviled eggs. Uh, a fool and their money is easily parted. True, true. But I like the ceremony of it. I was never one of those people who had to go to like a Easter mass or any of that. We weren't Catholic. We'd have to go to a Sunday service and then go home and eat candy. Um, but yeah, good morning. Happy Easter, Miss Nuts. How are you? I do love it. Now, the one thing I don't love, and I saw this today, because where the party was held for a little bit, there was a mall nearby. And me and my sons were like, yeah, let's go walk the mall. Because that's what a cripple should be doing. And we went to Spencer's and Hot Topic. Where else did we go? We went to GameStop, and there's a bookstore. I forget the name of the bookstore. And we just wandered around. But we're leaving. What store were we leaving? I forget what. Anyway, we're leaving and we're walking towards another store. That's all you need to know for this part of the story. And this really scary looking Easter bunny starts walking towards us on the opposite side of the big aisles that they don't need anymore because nobody goes to malls. And he was scary enough, right? I mean, like really scary looking. Sorry, I had to blow my nose in the middle of that story, and I didn't want to do it on air. Anyway, sorry about that. Oh, thank you guys for having. Did you see the fridge explosion? I did not. I don't know what that's in reference to. But anyway, so you got this really scary looking Easter bunny walking in the mall, and his little attendant, you know how they have like elves for Santa Claus or something like that? Well, they have this chick kind of in an Alice costume, a little bit. So kind of looks like which is a weird way to go with the Easter bunny. But her face and her hair are all done in there's no other way to put it but like goth. So not only do you have a scary Easter bunny, you got a scary attendant chick walking with him. And it's just like, what are they trying to do to children in this mall? Has anybody ever seen a mall or Walmart or wherever you go to get Easter bunny pictures taken that wasn't scary as fuck looking? Have y'all ever seen a rabbit? They're actually pretty cute. They're adorable even. How why is it in 2023 we can put satellites in the sky? We can cure diseases. Well, some of them if it's profitable enough. But we can do all this stuff. We can write AI that will write news stories for you. Just tell it what you want it to tell you, and it'll pop that shit out. But we can't make a Easter bunny head that doesn't give children nightmares. This is Kyle. Thank you. Hello, Chappy Little Monkey. So my little sister hit a home run in her softball game the other day, went over the fence, the wall behind it, and rolled into someone's backyard. Good for her. And thank you for that feminist $12. You know what? It's probably the most appropriate feminist $12 we've ever had. Good on your sister. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Alan, thank you so much for the message or for the donation with no message. Arkham City made me scared of bunnies, except for when I owned one. I I like bunny rabbits. We raised bunny rabbits for a while. My children showed them at the 4-H fair. We had several rabbits, and they're cute as pie. Little timid things with their little noses. Some of them are ugly. Don't get me wrong, but most of them are pretty cute. And for some reason, when we transfer them into a human allegory form, we make them the things of nightmares. Why? Now, I've seen some Santa Clauses in the mall that do that too. I don't know why. It's pretty easy to find a fat guy with a that can smile. But why in the ever loving? No, Alice was not following the White Rabbit, Black Romeo. She was kind of leading her or leading the rabbit. Run away, big pointy teeth. I don't get it, man. Bunny rabbits are cute. How come we can't make a cute rabbit? This is Kyle. Thank you so much. In smaller news, I had a short reach 1.6K views. So I'm quitting my day job to make YouTube shorts. Well, there you go. There you go. Live that dream. Dude, you guys, we've talked about the Charlie Sneako thing, the Moist Critical Sneako thing. Those two had a talk the other day. This is just off topic because it was something that made me laugh. They finally got together and chatted. This is real. This isn't a joke. They got together, they had a chat, and they came to some understanding. Sneako actually mostly was a decent person about it. But at one point, he tells Charlie that, look, I just don't like people shouldn't be playing video games all the time. You should be going out there and making some money. I'm like, you talking to Moist Critical. I get it if you're talking about, just if he was talking to me and I was healthy and this was what I did when I could go out there and get a job that probably would pay more. All right, maybe. But you're talking to somebody who has 11 million followers here on YouTube. He does quite well for himself and has for a long time. You're like, no, you just need to be able to go out there and make money. I'm like, do you even listen to yourself when you say stupid shit like that? I get it. Not everybody's going to make Moist Critical money, but he was specifically talking to him. I don't like when people don't actually pay attention to what they're saying. It drives me insane. Anyway, I don't really care to talk about that. Oh, speaking of Rumble, did Dijon, how do you say it? Nijon? What the fuck is his name? Guy who got in trouble here on YouTube for making fun of, or on Twitch. He got kicked off of Twitch for sending his audience to go harass. What's that chick's name? Pokimane. He just signed an exclusive deal with Rumble, which is awesome for him. On the same night, he got to meet President Trump. Did you guys see President Trump at UFC, whatever number they're on? 468 or whatever it's at. Trump went there and he was sitting with Kid Rock and he's there with Dana White and I forget who else was there. But yeah, the crowd loved him. There's an excellent what was it, welterweight fight, the 185 division, I think it was, where a guy's getting punched and he knocks the guy punching him. It, great stuff. I didn't watch the whole thing. I've seen clips. But it struck me weird that Trump was out in a crowd like that because he's just down front ringside. And I'm sure there's Secret Service there, but that's a big-ass crowd. Is that usually when you see a president go to a sporting event, they're up in a box somewhere, protective glass, and no, he's right down front. That was, maybe going for a man of the people thing. I don't know. Tyson, that's who it was, John Migda. Tyson was sitting there with him. Yeah, big event apparently. I don't pay that much attention to the sport, really. I like watching the knockouts. That's all I care about. It's also a Trump-friendly crowd. That's true, Faithless. I mean, it tends to be. You're not going to see a lot of pinkos going up there and watching two men get in the ring and beat the shit out of each other. How barbaric. Anyway, I guess you don't need to worry about getting attacked when Tyson's at your side. Maybe. Have a good night, Pyrus, and happy Easter. Trump is for the people. He lives in Florida. Why wouldn't he go there? Johnny, just because we've had this thing with our presidents pretty much since Kennedy got shot. And a little bit before that too, maybe since Lincoln got shot. But where we almost, well, maybe it was since Reagan got shot is where it really, really got bad. These guys cannot be in public without a massive entourage around them where you could barely see them. They're not men of the people. They're kept away from us, and we can see them on TV because somebody might run up and shoot them like Hinckley did. Yeah, I mean that is a worry, but I can't be the only one. And even post presidency, you don't see it all that often. They're usually up and away from everybody else. These representatives of you and me, who, and maybe these days it makes a little more sense because things have gotten so heated. So we had the Garrett Foster thing just come down. He's not acting president though, so no threat to the actual government. But Faithless, he's running for president, and Trump just kind of breaks the mold there. To me, he breaks the mold that we've had for quite a long time about them being just up and away from people. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm being overly, I don't want to say overly sensitive, but paying more attention to it than I guess sensitive is the right word. It just has the bad connotation because we live in such trying times. I guess we should cover that story. I got to dig back on my Twitter because that's from yesterday. Do you guys remember the story of the guy who he's in his car and wait, where is that story? Oh wow, several people blocked me yesterday. Well, potato, thank you. I don't know, monkey. Two half-naked, sweaty men. That seems right up most liberal soy boys avenue. Oh no, no. See, they still have their underwear on. If their underwear came off, yes, absolutely. Especially if they stuck a laser pointer up their butt or something. So this is from back in 2018. Army sergeant guilty in fatal shooting of protester in Austin. Dun, dun, dun. We talked about this a lot when it happened. This guy. Do we have the pictures? I don't know what's in here now. Okay. Where are we at here? U.S. Army sergeant was convicted of murder for fatally shooting an armed protester in a 2020 protest against police violence and racial injustice. This is one where they block the streets off in this car. He's an Uber driver. He turns onto the street and they surround his car. One of the guys who comes up to the car is carrying an AK-47. And depending on who you asked, he either pointed the gun at the guy in the car or didn't. And either way, the guy in the car, Army Sergeant, what's his name again? Daniel Perry, shoots him dead. Jack covered this on his show last night. Oh, cool. We watched a lot of the video. We saw a lot of the still footage. I don't know. All right. I don't know if the guy went out there with murderous intent. They pointed to a whole bunch of his social media posts where he's like, I could kill people and get away with it because of what's going on. And I honestly don't know. I don't know that actually it's one thing to say, I could kill people. It's a whole nother thing to actually shoot them. People are so mad at Abbott right now. Yeah, guys, this happened down in Texas. People want Abbott to pardon the guy. Now, they looked at what he said, right? They look at his social media post and like, somebody could kill one of these guys and claim self-defense. All right, fair enough, right? Thank you, Adolf. Was he really a person? He was, so was he really a person? He was, I guess. Not anymore. Anyway, the guy who got shot, there's an interview of him. Exactly, Faceless. Did they look at the other guy's stuff? There's an interview of him. Was it the night this happened or the night before? Because he's running around with this AK on, and somebody stops him on the street. I want to say it was from that night. And you know what? We can pull it up. In fact, we can pull that up because this is 2023. We have the internet, and yeah, so we can do that. Garrett Foster is the name of the dead guy, or it was his name. Do we have the one where it's okay? I'm just trying to make sure I got the one where it's just him. There's a lot of news ones out there where like we got exclusive footage tonight of stuff that's all over the internet. I love when the local news stations, we have exclusive footage that you can find on YouTube. Devil Fruit, thank you. Hey, monkey, it's my birthday. Can I get a song? Thanks for being entertaining. Hope the grandkids and your family have a great Easter. Thank you, Devil Fruit. Hang on, let me get this shit off the screen. All right, here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Devil Fruit. Happy birthday to you. And a happy Easter. Happy birthday. I hope you have a really good one. Really, really do. Have a happy birthday. I'm clever. All right, so this guy right here, he's the dude to get shot. Is this turned up all the way? Yeah, okay. He gets shot. Not on this video. Not on this video, but this is him talking. This is the last thing he ever said on camera that we know of.
AK-47.
What you got it out tonight?
They don't let us march in the streets anymore, so got to practice some of our rights.
Cool, man. Do you feel like you'll need to use it?
Nah, I think I mean, if I use it against the cops, I'm dead. And
all right, why are you carrying this around? Well, they won't let us march in the streets anymore, so we gotta hold up some of our rights. You guys were marching in the streets that night. He literally gets shot because they're in the fucking street and fucking with cars. Fucked around and found, oh, wait, Gray, if you haven't seen this before, even more so than you might think.
I think all the people that hate us and, you know, want to say shit to us are too big of pussies to stop and actually do anything about it. So.
Now, I want to point out that they're pointing to what Daniel said and said, see, this shows that it's premeditated. He was saying that you could get away with this shit. All right, fair. This guy just said, yeah, they're too big of pussies to do anything. Isn't that the same kind of thing? Isn't that the same kind of pointing at and go, look, he's trying to intimidate people. He's trying to intimidate. They're too big of pussies to do anything about it. His words, not mine. Bold words from this guy. Yeah, they were. He was big and brave. Now, reportedly, his gun didn't have any bullets in it. I have no idea if that's true. That's coming from the prosecutors who were trying to put away the army sergeant. So does anybody else question that? Anybody else be like, I don't believe you. I don't believe that this guy was running around during rioting season in 2018 and carrying an empty AK-47. What would be the point? What would be the point at that? Why? That's just asking to get shot, honestly. But even if it was empty, how would Sergeant Perry know? Exactly, Dark. When it comes to, if you guys watch the Rittenhouse trial, they explain this very well. I think, was it a Ricada video? One of those lawyers even goes deeper into it than the lawyers in the courtroom did. When it comes to self-defense, it's not whether you actually were in danger. It's whether you genuinely perceived yourself to be in danger. So if this guy walks up on Sergeant Perry here, points his gun at him, right? Perry has no idea that gun is empty. He would have a very genuine, easily to understand fear that his life was in danger. And anybody who was sitting in that car at that time would, if you're sitting in your car and somebody walks up on you, your car gets surrounded and somebody walks up on you with an AK and points it in your car at you, are you going to be like, oh yeah, it's probably empty? No. The normal response would to be afraid. And if you happen to be packing, bad shit can happen. And that's what happened here. Now, they point to, eyewitnesses. Eyewitnesses say that Garrett didn't point the gun. You mean all the eyewitnesses from the little Antifa encampment that was trying to shut down the street there and surrounded his car? And all of them said he never pointed the gun. Well, I'm shocked. You mean Antifa, the group who now refuses to let people record them because they get caught in so many crimes when they do, will actually beat people up if they bring cameras to the events? Those guys? The ones who tell their friends, there's camera footage of this. The people who are like, oh my God, there was a bad thing that happened here. Quick, get all the evidence so the police can't find it. They do that. They collect weapons, knives, guns. They'll pick up the bullet casings. Nobody talks to the cops. Those are the people that you're like, yeah, these are stand-up witnesses. And that's what he went to jail. That's what he's going. He faces 5 years to life in prison for this. 5 years to life in prison. Those people should not have been. Look, guys, there's a time and a place. This wasn't it. I'm sorry. I don't find protesting to be that meaningful to begin with. But if you want to do it, by all means, fucking go do it. I don't care. But get the fuck out of the road. And you don't have a right to surround a fucking car for daring to drive on the street. Witnesses also claim Michael Brown said, "Hands up, don't shoot." That's true. That is true. So yeah, I hope Abbott does pardon this guy. His last statement that I saw said that we're going as fast as we can through the process of looking at whether we can pardon him or something to that effect. Nutt said a moment ago people are mad because Abbott is suggesting pardoning this guy. Guy deserved to be pardoned. What we saw happen in the summer of 2018, the summer of love, it's 2020. I have my dates off because this was 3 years ago. I said earlier 2018. No, 2020. What we saw in 2020, the summer of love, was despicable. And you had all of these people out there taking over the street, literally taking over the street, standing in fucking highways. And if any car dared get near them, like trying to drive to work, they'd be like, how dare you? And they would beat on their cars. Some people actually got beat up. That shit shouldn't have happened. And this asshole we just saw, they won't let us protest in the street anymore. Well, what are you protesting? What is your punk ass white self protesting? You're protesting the George Floyd guy. You didn't give a shit about George Floyd. You just wanted a reason to riot. And that's what I don't like about most riots, because I don't think most people care. They just, it's looting season. I'm joining the loot. It'd be one thing. We're not talking about the 60s where there's a planned protest and they peacefully walk across bridges or to the Capitol. No. We're talking about fucking riots. Abbott intends to pardon if the Texas Board of Pardon recommends it. I don't know much about the Texas Board of Pardons and how the pardon system works there in Texas. On the national level, the president doesn't need anybody to give him any kind of advice. He can just, fuck it, I can pardon him. I don't know if pardons in Texas are like tied to the board. My guess would be this early on, they wouldn't say that there should be a pardon. But I don't know. What really pisses me off is the Army cut Sergeant Perry loose. I mean, that's going to happen. Thank you so much, Dr. Resurrect, for the feminist $12. If my vehicle gets surrounded by angry commies and some fat body with an AK starts walking to my car, I'm going to assume malicious intent. Shit, I couldn't read it all when it was on the screen there. Give me just a second here. And, for what you said so far, absolutely. Why wouldn't you? Would rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. And I hear what you're saying there, but in this case, that didn't work out either. He said he can't just pardon him. He has to approve a recommendation. Oh, okay. Yeah. Is the sergeant still in jail? Oh, yeah. At this point, he was out on bond and for the trial and everything. So it's not like he's been in jail. But he's going now. Once the verdict read, he gets taken to jail because this is a murder, not this isn't like white collar crime where for some reason they let those guys go home for a couple of weeks before they turn themselves. No, he went straight to jail. The sentencing will be coming up. It's 5 to life, 5 years to life. Because our government couldn't do their responsibility of protecting people. Everyone in that crowd around his car should have been arrested for intimidation. But nah, bruh. He was waving that AK just to, peacefully. And look, I have no problem with people carrying guns. I really don't. But in a situation like that, as Dark just said, and by the way, I don't know if I said thank you for that. Feminist $12. As he just said, if you're in that situation and you have this angry mob running at you, and some dude rolls up on you with an AK, it's normal to get scared in that situation. And again, I know we've seen still footage. A lot of it's been erased from the internet. I was trying to look for the shots today, and I think I finally found one, and it's on Twitter, and all of the original posts have been deleted. Like, oh, great. I just don't think this was murder. I think this is nonsense, and I think he needs to be pardoned for this. Now, let's move on to some more. Well, I guess we can talk about it for a few minutes, and then we'll move on to more news. A lot of really bad stuff happened. A lot of really bad stuff happened in the summer of 2020 that has been completely erased from memory. It's been memory hold. They've gotten rid of it. All of the footage that we watched of people doing really bad things there at the Justice Center in Portland, just in the streets of Seattle until the one chick got hit by a car. I know I'm not supposed to laugh at that, but every time I think of it, I imagine her doing her cartwheel in the air. Oh my God, she got hit while standing in the freeway. You guys know it's illegal to just be walking through the freeway, right? It's actually illegal because it's a danger. But they were shutting down these freeways for these assholes. Like, I know they're going to get in the freeway anyway. We will shut it down so they can make a menace of themselves. They were intimidating people. Much of it was very violent, and it's all mostly gone away. The several months of standoff there at the Justice Center in Portland started because these dirty fucking hippies broke in and tried to burn it down twice. And there's actually footage of it from the what is it, the Oregon Guardian, Oregon Sentinel, Oregon, I forget what paper it is. But there's footage of that on YouTube that you can go watch. They weren't trying to catch bad people. It's not like they're Fox News, like, go get the liberals. They were just happened to be there and recording. These people break into a federal fucking courthouse and tried to burn it down. How often did that get talked about anytime when they would discuss the Portland riots? No. The peaceful protest. And then they were like, how dare Donald Trump send federal troops to defend the federal courthouse? Like, how dare he? They weren't doing nothing wrong. Every fucking night, setting fires. Every night. It was so bad they had to board up the whole fucking thing. And then they just tried to rip the boarding down. They finally get it down and they throw fucking firework into the building. We watched all of this happen. And they treat these fucking assholes, oh, they were just peaceful. Mostly peaceful. The mostly peaceful stuff was the bullshit that they had during the day. They would have demonstrations during the day. But once that sun went down and the black bloc came out, the black people went home. Black bloc came out. And they would terrorize these people till like 3 or 4 in the morning, Eastern time. So till midnight, 1 o'clock local time. And finally the police were like, all right, fuck it. That's enough. We're going to start shooting pepper balls at you. Go home. And then they'll be, I can't believe how the police are acting. These are people who were violently beating people and burning shit down and stabbing people. Fiery, but mostly peaceful while building is actively burning behind a guy. Yeah, Dark Resurrect, the best thing about that, for those of you who don't know, there's pretty famous footage of 2 different people. One who worked for CNN, one who worked for MSNBC. These are at different times, different riots, standing in front of buildings that have been set on fire going, it's mostly peaceful. They're 2 different times. Yeah. Anyway, let's move along. I don't even really know what's going on. Have you guys been watching the Laura Loomer thing? apparently Trump is thinking about hiring Laura Loomer. Mr. Trump, all right, I need to talk to you for just a second. Listen up, listen up. You have a bad habit in the political sphere of surrounding yourself with stupid people who you should not. Okay. I don't know who's advising you on the people who come into your circle there, but Laura Loomer is one of the ones that's just going to make you look bad because she's an idiot. And before anybody out there's like, hey, but she's no, Laura Loomer is a fucking retard. This is the chick who claimed that they were out to get her. Did you see how they flattened my tires? You remember her? Some news said he's decided not to do it. Good. But it just points to the fact that he has a really bad habit of surrounding himself with bad people. This woman, my tires. And to the point where even, what was it, Michelin came out and like, yeah, bitch, you just need to change your tires. These tires, I have not seen tires that look that old on a vehicle that hasn't like been parked in somebody's lawn for 3 years. They were all, yes, cracked and corroded. They were fucked up. And she's like, yeah, let's be honest, Trump's not a good judge of character. No, and you know why? And this is true. Because Trump wants yes men around him. He wants loyalty. And that's loyalty is important. But you should have loyalty from smart people who know what they're doing, not just, I love you, Mr. Trump, because that's how you end up with a lot of dumbasses around you. And it's frankly how you ended up hiring people like Bolton. It's how a lot of your shit went bad. So they look like Russian tires in Ukraine. Yeah. But anyway, apparently Marjorie Taylor Greene got into it like, no, don't. She can't be trusted. And good for them for getting that bitch out of there. Because why Loomer? Why Loomer? I don't understand. Oh man, that guy blocked me. I forgot about that. I wanted to watch this video. Hang on a second. I gotta go incognito over here on crazy shit. Because I pointed out that this guy's an idiot, and a lot of, you know what? I find this interesting. A lot of people don't like to be told when they're being stupid. Have you guys noticed that? A lot of people are like, no, how dare you? How dare you show that I'm dumb as shit? How can I do this where... All right, let's see. Can we capture... I had problems the other day trying to present this, and I had to move it to my other screen. I really don't want to have to do that. Will it be this one? No, that's not what I want. This one. There we go. No, there we go. Yeah, we want to come up here, and we want this video right here. Whoa, that is loud as shit. We're going to turn it down. This is a video, and I just want to tell you what the guy said. This is every retail worker. This is everybody who works retail. Son of a bitch. You guys hear that? Can you hear it okay? Now, what we missed is I was trying to get volume right. This chick, the customer's like, am I supposed to bag this myself? And our grumpy ass cashier here is like, and gets the bag out. No sound buffering. What? Oh, son of a bitch. All right. Da da da. Da 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 da. Let's stop sharing and try that again. You haven't missed much. Seriously, I described what happened, but why is it doing that? Why is it not sharing the... If I had a producer, I would fire him. No. And now it's... Oh, fuck it. All right, we'll do it the other way. Why, oh, why Are you pissing me off today? I just want to show a video to people. Do. Share screen. All right, let's try this again. Do we have sound now? What about now? Aren't they paid to bag the groceries? Well, yes, Evolved Potato. And it's interesting because well, we'll get into it as we see this. And even if we don't get the still no sound, all right, well, fuck it. Then I'm gonna turn it off so I don't have to hear it either. I'll narrate. So we have our cashier here, and she's bagging the stuff, and this lady just keeps, like, wait, she right there, she was asked, will you double bag it? It's frankly, I would have fired this bitch already. I'd have fired her. Comrade Kitty, thank you. Monkey looks at reflection. You're fired. Yes, indeed. Yeah, great sound. Definitely not muted. It's muted at the moment. That's because the sound wasn't working, so I just turned it off so I don't have to hear it because it's loud as fuck. So she's like, oh, and okay, do you guys see what she just did right there? She just put Windex into that bag, and then she goes to put eggs on top of it. And she goes, you can't put chemicals in with food. And our lovely cashier, all right, fine. I mean, I guess I won't contaminate your food. I won't contaminate your food at all because yeah. I would be polite if the woman said, please. All right. I hear you. But the way this chick is bagging groceries, the way if any of my cashiers acted like that, I would have yanked their ass into the back room like, we need to have a talk. You cannot act like that with my customers. Look at her whole fucking attitude through this whole thing. Did you think the bit? Never mind. Hang on. We'll keep it playing. And so this woman, she's had enough because she's like, oh my God, she look at just shoving the shit in there. And then yep. Yes, this is absolutely fake. This is a scene. You're supposed to look, she finally smiles at the end. And I'm showing you this because the guy who posted it, he's like, this is how all retail workers feel. I've never felt that way. And I worked in retail for 10 years. One of my favorite things to do, even after, because I started out as a cashier and moved my way up. And when they would go like, hey, we need people on register. If I wasn't busy with something I desperately had to get done that day, I love to go up and do cashier work. I like talking with people coming through. 99% of the people you deal with are really friendly. It's a lot of fun. Just have a nice little chat with them. That bitch should have been fired. That's from the TV show Mayans. Ah, gotcha. That bitch didn't do anything right. In fact, in training, you should have been told as a cashier, don't put chemicals in with food. Don't put chemicals in with food. Would you like to get home and have your nice Windexed eggs? I couldn't be a cashier. I love cashiering. I really did. The only problem with cashiering is you're standing in, especially if you're really busy, which is when I like to do it. You're standing in place so long, your legs can lock up and it can get a little bit sore. And you're doing it for 2 hours straight between breaks. That might not sound like much, but you're doing just these slight shifts back and forth. And yeah, it can wear your hips out real quick. I do like clean eggs. Yeah. Clean eggs and ham. But man, I watch, and this is how if you feel like that in your job like that, then you're one, in the wrong job, and two, you're probably a shithead. You probably are. That woman didn't say anything worthy of that. And in fact, she had that look on her face before the customer said fuck all to her. Like, God damn. I like helping people, but online shopping is taking a toll on me. Frank, thank you. This is from a show, Mayans MC. There was more that led up to it. She's freshly sober from heroin, and her boyfriend was just murdered, as well as that chick was. Sorry, I missed the very end of that. No, and I get that. I get that. But my point is what the guy said in response to it. How every one of us who has to deal with this, go fuck yourself. Anyway, so, as well as a chick was being bitchy. She wasn't that bitchy. She said, am I supposed to bag these myself? That's a legit question at that point. And then she goes, could you double bag it? And then she goes, you can't put chemical. She wasn't being that bitchy to her. John Migda, thank you. Nick Fuentes would like it. Nick Fuentes would like it if orange scented. Did you guys see the Fuentes shit? Let's do that. That's fun. Oh my God. I hope this is real. Reportedly, Milo has confirmed that this is real. This is Milo Yiannopoulos talking to Nick Fuentes. God, please let this be real. Please let this be real. So the other day, Nick Fuentes had this is from November. So the other day, in comparison to where we are here, the other day he had a get together. They had a little. Milo has verified this. But before we get to him, thank you, Frank. This is from a show. Wait, that's the one we just read. What the hell did I miss? All right, never mind. We don't have to get to anything. All right, so here we are. Nick and Milo. Milo says, do a better job marketing Saturday. Turnout was pathetic. You can't be seen talking to such small groups. Makes you look ridiculous. Fix it. And Fuentes shoots back. I was losing my mind when I saw the small crowd. And Milo said, you are starting to feel unthreatening. This does not please me. Oh, fuck. I love this shit. Oh, man. This is, you blanked out. Can you repeat, please? Which part? Which part? About this? What's on your screen right now? Milo verified that these are his repeatedly. It's him talking to Nick Fuentes about a rally that went poorly back in 2021. All right, is everybody caught up now? All right, sorry about that, guys. My internet. You are starting to feel unthreatening. This doesn't please me. I love that shit. And then Nick, give me some advice. Give me some advice. This doesn't please me. Gay. Okay, gay Palpatine. Right? Hey, Camel. Oh, my fucking God. This shit's awesome. Milo says, Staten Island, what? Weekday, daytime, weird location. You fucked up everything that could possibly have been fucked up. To which he goes, I know. I can't read the rest of this because a lot of it has, I could read some of it, but I don't want to again. I'll drop it into chat. I do want to get to the end here. Where is it? I realize that you are at heart a shy nerd. To me, Fuentes comes off as very much like the teachers the female teachers who bang their high school students. And let me explain. He's a nerd. So he gets this little bit of clout, and so he feeds off just that. He finally gets to be cool. Wait, nerds are smart. Not all nerds are smart. He finally gets to be cool. And that's what this is for him. He gets to relive the high school years he did. And he's got a group of young men around him just past high school age where he gets to be their king. He gets to be the popular kid in school. So, yeah. Milo's entertaining, especially when he's being mean. Oh, yeah, I like Milo when he's mean. I just loved this, and I think it's wonderful. You little nerd. Milo Yiannopoulos called you a shy nerd. I don't know what I would do with that. I don't know how I would respond. And Milo in there, he talks about, I said I would drop that if anybody cares to read the rest of it. To make sure I got the right one. Several of you are trying to argue about the language of nerd, and I see dork in there, and I saw geek. Nerd is an all-encompassing term these days, and it's just, you got to get with the times, y'all. Got to get with the times. And that actually goes back to the 80s. It's not like geek and nerd and all those have been separated that distinctly since the 60s. How old are you fuckers? God damn. But yeah, you get called a shy nerd by Milo. And when you are that shy nerd, because I really do think that's what Fuentes is. Fuentes overcompensates for the fact that he thinks he's unworthy of people listening to him. So he overcompensates for it and makes a spectacle of himself for it. And it's a dangerous drug to get hooked on that kind of attention. And in doing so, he's pretty much ruined his chances of any kind of successful career outside of what he's doing. It's Ethan Ralph without going that far off the cliff, you know. He went that alt-right angle instead of going the crazy drunk angle. Imposter syndrome. It's kind of imposter syndrome. It's being shy. I saw somebody else. There's somebody I follow. I'm not going to mention who. Very lovely young lady. She's very funny, very pretty. And she had a post up the other day that she's in her 30s. And she's like, I got invited to a barbecue for the first time in my life. First time in my life. She said, wow, normally I'm sitting home wondering why not me. You guys, it's a shy thing where people are like, why not me? And it's because you get in there, and when you don't feel like you deserve this attention, you don't feel like you're good enough or whatever, then you fall back into that. Well, why not me? How come everybody else gets to be happy? And then you know what you start doing? You overthink it. And then every time you talk to somebody, you're trying to be funny, or you're worried that, oh, are they laughing? Look, I was shy once. You start thinking about what everybody else is thinking instead of just being yourself, which is what you should do. Just be yourself. Go and enjoy that fucking barbecue. Just have some fun and don't overthink things. But when you get a little bit of a taste, just a little bit of a taste of that popularity is a drug. It really is. And then you just want to keep it. Just want your little followers out there. I never enjoyed being popular. I enjoy having an audience. That's a different thing. I like being on stage, which this is kind of being on stage. I like you guys coming and listening to me and us getting to talk like this. But if all of us were in a room every day together, it would drain the shit out of me. It just would. I need a lot of alone time. I need to recharge. It takes a while for your fuck it to grow in. It does. And a lot of people never get that. Some people go their whole lives without, I've said this before, and I need you guys to, especially you shy kids out there, because I know some of you are like that. I need you to listen to me. Most people don't think about you that much. They don't. Most people don't care that much. They got their own shit going on. Even you don't think about them that much. You're thinking more about you, like, did I embarrass myself? Did they like me? It's all about you. Most people don't think about that. Just go have fun. And, Drain you in what way? Sounds kind of gross. um, I'd like to be the center of attention, clearly. And I enjoy putting on a show. I enjoy making people laugh, but it drains my energy. I get not overwhelmed, but it's a weird exhaustion I can't really explain. Just to where like, okay, I just need to be alone for a little bit. So yeah, after the shows, me and Jack talk for a while, and then I go do the game stream, and then I don't I don't have to come back out. I'm okay until the next show most of the time. Usually you'll only see me do another show after that if something comes up. Did I tell you guys I accidentally scheduled myself to be on somebody else's show on my birthday? I did. The Haptarians. You guys know who those are? Petite Nikoko and her husband Shane. Shane reached out to me the other day and asked me if I would, go on their show on either the 21st or 22nd. I'm like, yeah, whichever works for you. So he goes, all right, how about the 22nd? I'm like, sure, that's cool. And it was the next day when I went, wait, this is April. So yeah, I'm going to be on somebody else's show on my birthday. We'll be here too. Don't worry. Because yeah, the Haptarians, if you guys have not seen them, they're pretty cool. They don't stream and stuff as much as they used to. Whoopsie. Yeah, I mean, oh well. Spread my joy on my birthday. Why not? It's when I was introduced to the world. Everyone has a social battery. Shy people, introverts, they drain their battery quickly. I don't think I'm an introvert. I really don't. And I hear what you're saying, but yeah, everybody has that social battery. Some people just seem to never get tired. You know what I mean? They can be that all the time. I can't. I can do it for a few hours. I can even do it for a day, but after that, I need like a day or two just to myself. My solo capacity is marathon levels, but crowds drain me. As long as I'm there, I'm all right. I'm good. Like if I'm trying to think of something. Let's say we had a monkey con, right? And the whole idea is, we're just gonna be hanging out in a hotel that we take over, and everybody's just having a good time. I could do that for a weekend. I'd be all right being out there talking to everybody and enjoying it. It would be after that though, it's like, all right, I need to decompress. I just need some quiet. Like when I go to family gatherings, the last one that I remember going to, the last family reunion, I walk in and the first thing my cousin says to me, like, all right, be funny. I'm like, that's not what I'm here for. I'm just here for the family gathering. Everybody's standing around having fun, talking to each other. I'm not here to make the jokes that I make on social media. But yeah, it gets a little draining sometimes. I enjoy it though. I like the aspect of doing this part of it. I love doing the show. You know who? Oh, that was that guy. Okay, never mind. Something off screen. When I went to do the show tonight, it's like I really don't want to do a show, and I don't. I didn't want to do a show. I wanted to just sit here and rest and recover from the day, but I really wanted to do a show. Do you guys have things like that where you're like, I don't want to do that, but I really want to do that? So it's not like when I Sorry about that, you guys. Sorry. The Starlink just died. Like completely died. So, anyway, hello. Oh God, let's move on. I really do enjoy this job though. I have a lot of fun with it, and just sometimes I'm like, I don't want to do that, but I can't stop myself from doing it. I wonder if that's how I've never been addicted to anything. So I do wonder if that's how real addiction is. You know, when you get to that point where you're like, I don't want to do heroin anymore, but I need that heroin. It's satellite that's expected. Not usually to completely die out like that. Wrong neighborhood. Did I tell you guys I actually got upgraded? Because when I first got my Starlink, they're like, yeah, it's not really available in your. We're going to give you what we call our best effort service. That's a real name, best effort. And the other day, I got an email from them saying, "Oh, by the way, you're actually now a residential customer," which doesn't change anything monetarily, but I'm supposed to get higher grade service. Them candles tend to produce that effect. You know what, Peter? You're right. Smoking is one of those. I don't want to smoke, but I can't stop. Now, with streaming, that's a better thing because I'm not, hurting anything. I'm not destroying my body with, carcinogens in my lungs. Literally a former heroin addict. That's exactly the thought, albeit a lot more physical motivation in the mix. This is true, and I don't know how much you guys believe me on it, but it is actually true. If I haven't streamed in a while, like when I went to my father-in-law's for the summer, I get twitchy. I need to get on the air. I need to get on the fucking air. And this isn't how it was supposed to be. I was supposed to make videos and spend a few hours a day making a video, put it out there, and go about my life. And somewhere along the line, it was when Based Mama invited me on a stream. It was a terrible stream for me. It was actually a pretty decent conversation, but I was so out of it. They were still trying to figure out my medicines at that time. And yes, nuts, I am back home. They were trying to figure out my medicines, and they gave me one of the medicines really fucked up my brain, and I was in a lot of pain, and I take this, and I wasn't there. But then I went on Bear's stream with him and Miss Misa, and that was a fuck ton of fun. The three of us chatting, and I was hooked. I need the attention. Anyway, let's see. We have some. Let's do the animal stories. It's Easter. I don't necessarily think these are all good Easter stories. One of them is kind of connected. It kind of involves some. What's what I'm looking for here? Eggs. Couldn't think of the word eggs. A moose was apparently hungry, so he went inside an Alaska hospital and began chewing on plants. And apparently, that's an apparent. Get this shit off my screen. No. I clicked X. You guys clearly saw I clicked that. An apparent son of a bitch. Get that shit. Ugh. Try this again. Please, no white women banging their dogs. Sorry, Shiro, we got to cover that. An apparent hungry moose caused quite a stir when it walked through the doors of Alaska's largest hospital. Maybe it had a tummy ache. Video posted to social media showed the young moose chewing on leaves nonchalantly as security guards approached the moose inside Providence, Alaska Medical Center. Well, I guess we can't read it because they keep putting these stupid fucking ads up. CBS, go fuck yourselves. There's not much more to it other than a moose decided to walk into a hospital and started eating stuff. I hope those plants were safe for moose. When they're putting plants and stuff in hospitals, they don't tend to make sure that they're safe for wild animals. But yeah, so there's our first one of the. I don't use ad block. I know several people keep saying it. I don't deal with it. Where's the Chinese story? Here it is. This one is kind of weird. Chinese man who scared chickens to death. There's no Chinese saying that goes, kill the chickens to scare the monkey. We don't scare that easy. Roughly translated, it means the best way to intimidate a big rival is to destroy a smaller one. But what happens after that? One man in China appears to have just found out. In a curious court case being reported in the country's state-owned media, a man identified only by his surname Gu was this week sentenced to prison after a court finding him guilty of scaring to death 1,100 chickens that belonged to the neighbor with whom he was feuding. Motherfucker scared a bunch of chickens to death because he's fighting with his neighbor. Yeah, why not? The pair had reportedly been squabbling since the neighbor, Zhang, cut down Gu's trees without permission in April 2022. The court in Hanyang County of Central China's Hunan province heard that Gu was responding by sneaking onto Zhang's chicken farm during the night on more than one occasion. It's unclear what Gu's intentions were, but the flashlight he used caused the flock to panic as the birds crowded into a corner in fear, hundreds of them dying in the ensuing crush. He basically caused a panic that made the chickens trample each other to death. Ain't that some shit? He was ordered to pay a fine, and then he did it a second time. The first time, only 500 died, and then he did it again. 600 died. And so they sent him to jail for a year for scaring chickens to death. Okay, that makes sense. Now, I guess I didn't realize chickens were that easily frightened to where they would literally crush each other to death. Can you eat them? Is that a tenderized chicken at that point? I mean, that's a lot of chickens, but seriously. Total amount that the chickens were worth was $2,015. Oh, sorry. 6 months in prison and a year of probation. I said a year of prison. Yeah. Do you think now, like, people are going to do that purposefully to piss off their neighbors? Scared chickens to death. And what do you think that dude looked, the next day he wakes up? He wakes up, he goes out into his chicken pen, which has to be pretty large to have that many chickens in it, where 1,000 of them can die. And there's just a bunch of smushed chickens in one corner. That's a lot of chickens. 500 chickens? And then 600, 640 something the second time? That's a lot of goddamn chickens. He must have thought, nuggies, right? Yeah, I guess those would be nuggies. All right. And then in the story, somebody asked us not to cover. Sorry, we got to do it. We got to do it because I have questions. And I sincerely hope some of you guys don't have answers. But all right, stop this shit. There we go. Na 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 na. I missed this story. Apparently, it's been going around for a couple of days now. Mississippi woman arrested for having sex with dog says she was threatened to do it. A Mississippi woman arrested this week for having sex with a dog on camera claims she was forced into the act, apparently by people who pay her to make pornographic videos, according to court documents. Apparently, she's got her own version of the Tate Brothers or something. I don't know. In the revolting case, Denise Nicole Frazier, 19, told police she had intercourse with a German Shepherd in the footage that appeared on Snapchat because she was, quote, threatened to do it, according to an arrest affidavit cited by Laurel Leader Call. I don't know what Laurel Leader Call is, but I'll take their word for it. Frazier admitted she was the one in the video, but stated she was forced to do it. Frazier made the claim as Jones County Sheriff's officers arrested her Wednesday, telling cops that people pay me to perform in videos, but that sex with the male service dog was against her will, according to police. There's no evidence of that claim, but we're investigating it, JCSD Investigator Sergeant J.D. Carter told the local outlet. There were 2 men at the home in Myrick where Frazier was arrested, but it wasn't immediately known if they were involved. Carter said police planned to probe whether she was. They planned to probe. Yes, it was a service dog, apparently, Bubba. It was a service. Yeah, 19 and a service dog. The only way this could get worse is if the dog was retarded. So right now we're still in that initial phase, right past the first part of it, but we're still going to look into it to see if there's more. We've never dealt with this particular type of case before. There are really no words to describe it other than disgusting. Frazier was charged with unnatural intercourse and unnatural intercourse. Doesn't that seem? That seems like a weird name for the charge. Unnatural intercourse. Anyway, I don't know what happened. I didn't see the video. An aggravated animal cruelty. That's the part I'm curious about. Now, I'm not defending any of this, but the animal cruelty part of that, was she doing something mean to arouse this dog? Like, I'm not gonna give any kind of scenario, like, but if all it did was the dog banged her, which is what it kind of sounds like, the animal cruelty charge is wrong. Right, thank you, dirty bitch, pun intended. Oh yeah, I get you. I was gonna name this stream after it, and there was no way I couldn't do it without putting bitch in the title. Was the dog traumatized after? Yeah, I don't know what they did to this poor dog. So if it was just what in this, the dog, thank you. I have Downs and I'm under one. Fair enough. Yes, it's absolutely fucking gross. It's disgusting. And I don't understand why you would do this. I don't understand. Oh, God damn it, Mr. Hughes. She used peanut butter and the dog is allergic. I don't know. Now we've seen this before. There was a one we read about on Lords of the Night where this guy had intercourse with a dog twice, the same dog twice. He got arrested for it once. He gets out of jail, goes back and gets busted doing it again. Now that I understand the animal abuse because you're physically harming this dog. I'm curious. Like I said, I didn't see the videos. I'm curious what they did to make this dog do that. If they were doing something, because it's bad enough you're a dirty bitch who's having sex with a dog, but were you harming that dog in the process too? Because that's fucked up. Cybertest, thank you. I know you can't play White Girls Funk Dogs. I'll settle for happy birthday for my 51st. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear S. Cybertest. Happy birthday to you. Evolved Potato, thank you. Well, as a service dog, it certainly provided a service to her. I guess so. S. Cybertest, I hope you have a wonderful birthday, my friend. 51, I'm not that far away. I heard of a dude broke into a chicken coop once. That I can understand. Oh, you think that ever caused a crush? Like Michael Rowland's got it? Never mind. I can't understand. Yeah. I read how it was written, but I understand what you meant. I don't understand people like, ooh, that's a non-human. I'm going to have sex with it. Why? Are there not enough humans out there? This girl's not like bad looking. I mean, she's not like the most attractive person, but she could get banged easily. By the way, one of the places that she did this where it was filmed was apparently in a church parking lot. Sweetheart, if there's a hell, you're going there so fast. Like that fast. 19 years old, and you are putting videos of yourself having fornication with dogs on the internet. Do you understand how that's going to follow you the rest of your life? I'm going to say two words to you guys. All right, clear your minds. Clear your minds. I want the first thing you think of when I say these two words. You ready? Monica Lewinsky. And that's before the internet's big. That's at the beginning of the internet. Internet's just kind of starting out. That woman will forever, for the rest of her life, be known for giving a blowjob. Cigar, that's another. Yeah, she's going to be known for that situation. And all she did was sleep with a married. Well, she didn't even sleep with him. She had sexual knowledge of a married dude. You're 19, and for the rest of your life, people. Nuts, you just went really dark on that one. Wet cigar. Other people are saying, you go to Wet Cigar? West Virginia, thank you. We welcome this woman proudly. Thank you so much for the donation, West Virginia. Wet Cigar? You just made it gross. Whitney, Wisconsin. Yeah, I don't understand these people who do this. I don't. And it's going to go with you forever. Forever and ever and ever. If you were going to do that, please don't. But why do people film themselves committing criminal acts? Now, I will say that I don't think she was forced into it. I don't have any evidence either way, right? But I do think there were other people involved. She recorded herself doing this. But I have a feeling that there were other people involved who were encouraging her, because she does get paid for doing sexualized content. You don't have to say sorry, Nuts. It's just weird for you to be the one to take it somewhere that makes me go, that's gross. Do you think Cenk is her pimp? Probably. She was paid well. I bet she wasn't, honestly. I bet she got some. But I don't believe for a minute that wasn't her idea, or at least she was willing to go along with it. And yeah, this is one of the problems with. It's kind of like prank videos when it comes to the porn industry, right? Because on prank videos, the first ones that came out on YouTube, they were pretty tame, right? Couple of that's actually a little bit funny, but they kept having to escalate to get attention. Got to escalate to get that attention. There's lots of pretty women out there getting naked and doing horny stuff on the internet. So if you want that money, you're gonna have to up that ante a little bit. Got to up it up. You got to be a little bit more extreme. This was a German Shepherd. The next one's gonna need a pit bull. Couldn't get him off. He's got lockjaw. Anyway. But this is fucking gross. This is nasty. And stop abusing your animals. And I really do. I sincerely hope that the animal cruelty charge there is just one they threw on, that she didn't actually like abuse this dog. And by abuse, I mean cause physical harm to the animal. Because you're already a dirty bitch. And if you hurt this animal in the process of this, fuck you. I really, really hope your ticket to hell is quick. But yeah, I'm sitting here minding my own goddamn business. And did I take medicine already? Did you guys hear me take medicine earlier? Somebody help me out here before I take more Motrin than I need to. But I'm minding my own business. And this story pops up about this chick who had intercourse with a dog in a church parking lot. I'm like, what? And so I had to go look. I ate some pills. Okay, thank you. I had to go look it up. And what is wrong with people? How far out do you think we are from this being a sexuality? How far are we away from bestiality being a sexuality? We can't be that far. I mean, we are rocketed straight down that slope. We can't be that far off, right? Until we get to the Cenk place of, well, if you're not hurting it. I mean, they're already doing it with the pedo thing. No, they're not, monkey. They absolutely are. Shut up. We've seen it. Shut up. It's next in line. Yeah. It already is. Look at maps. People still make the separation when it comes to animals. And how long before some of the other really gross ones come in? I'm not going to bring it up. I don't want to say even nastier things. Cybertaz, thank you so much for that donation. Let this load up as we it's okay to have some kind of moral standards, right? As Cybertest, thank you. Okay, it's unlikely that this was your first time doing it on video. Also, since Frozen Asian isn't here, Virgie, is that you? I'm not sure which one we're talking about. But yeah, it's okay to have standards. This whole idea, no, you can't judge people. Yeah, you can. And we need to get back to some judgment. We really do. We need to have some, mostly, I hate to get on this topic again because we talk about it so much, but we're at the point now where we're mutilating children because children say that they feel something. And everybody's like, yes, that makes sense to me. And if you speak against it, you're like, how dare you? We need to give them drugs. Look, we can put off their puberty until they're 35 and it won't change anything. It won't change anything. And then they can take the hormones that are best suited to their body, even though their body naturally rejects one over the other. Go ahead and lob off them titties. And then to turn around and be like, no, they don't even do that. Yes, they do. The jazz thing. My name is Jazz. Is that the name of that stupid ass show? This is a child that was pumped up over and over and over again who had their sex change operation when they were 17. And they tell us they don't do this on anybody who's not an adult. The fuck are you talking about? You made a whole fucking TV show about it happening. And it was on the Boston Children's Hospital website. We do it at 17. And then people called him out for it. Like, we never said that. Look, it says 18 because they changed it. We got to get back to some sense of morality. Morals are okay. And in fact, they're necessary. I don't want to live in an anarchistic world. I don't. That is a bad idea. I want small government, not no government. And some people can't make that distinction. Some people are like, no, I should be able to do whatever I want. You shouldn't be able to harm people. Anyhow, look at the post-op satisfaction literature as low as 12. Yeah, USP, it depends on who's doing it because there was a story that came out, I want to say it was yesterday, where it said new study shows that post-op trans people are happy. And what they keep doing is asking people within like the first year of transitioning. That's what most of these studies are because they don't really have long-term studies on that. Wasn't there an episode or something about how Jazz couldn't get a below ground pool because his hose wasn't big enough? Yes. With the Jazz Jennings situation, they were really worried about being able to do the bottom surgery on Jazz because they'd done the puberty blockers and the phallus had never grown in properly like it's supposed to. So they didn't have enough material to work with. Yeah. Trans child is the same as vegan cat. Someone else is making their decisions. Child's fame-starved mother. I hear you kind of. I mean, the child does say they want it in most of these cases. I can't say all because I'm not there. I do think a lot of it is pushed by their parents, but the child is convinced that that's what they want. But children are often convinced of what they want because children are young and uninformed and haven't lived life, and everything seems like this is what I am now. I'm a fire truck. No, you're not, little Billy. You're a human male. You're not a fire truck. We can play pretend. The problem is we stopped playing pretend. And we started acting as though children are the smartest people in the room, and they're really not. They're really not. They're uneducated. They're young. They have no life experience. No, they know exactly who they are. No, they don't. No, they don't. There was a big joke back in the 80s about how all of the 60s hippies, all of these people who were communist loving, non bathing jackasses, right? They're anti establishment in the 60s. They're teenagers in the 60s. And by the 80s, they were the yuppies. We're the yuppies. We used to acknowledge that this kind of stuff happened, that kids would change their mind and eventually they'd grow up and things would change. And now we're like, what? He's 10 and he said he sometimes likes to wear a dress. Quick, lob off his penis. Kids will believe leftist bullshit. Kids will believe anything. Kids will believe anything that they want to believe. They're kids. When do we stop realizing that they're kids? Anyway, guys, I'm going to go play some video games. I'll probably turn the the stream on for it. Going to go play me some more space game, No Man's Sky. I've been having some fun with that. I'm not actually doing a series. We're just going to turn it on and talk like we did the other day while I play the game. I'm quite a bit more advanced than I was when we were there the other day. I got my my Sentinel ship. It's kind of cool looking. But guys, thanks for hanging out. And thanks for always being here. You guys are awesome. Sorry about missing the show yesterday. I just had to try to get some sleep. I'm trying to be better about that kind of stuff. Like getting sleep when I know things are coming. Like today, we're gonna have like a Easter dinner kind of thing. I want to make sure I'm awake for that. But I got my sleep last night, so I should be fine for that. Which means I may end up the show tomorrow may end up being at like midnight or later, because I'm gonna have to. I'll be awake all day through dinner, and I'll probably crash after dinner. Anyhow, thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for the donations. You guys are awesome. I love you so very much. And happy Easter. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you next time. As soon as I get up here and click the end button, we'll turn off this awesome show. And then we'll sit down together, away from one another, and say it's time to go. Penis.